No, 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 no. The powers are different. I love the Avengers, but no, no. Iron Man, Thor has a better chance than anybody, probably. Yeah, and it's about I'm assuming they're talking about the movie Avengers, not like the comics and the different heroes that came. I'm assuming because they showed the picture of the original MCU Avengers. No, Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye, you could just erase that. Yamcha can beat them. Captain America, no. Iron Man, you're in a suit. That's not going to happen. Hulk, no. Brute strength is not going to, no. No, Nappa would have a field day with the strength. The strength of the Saiyans and the strength of Hulk is two different levels. It's two different levels here. We're talking about Saiyans who Vegeta destroyed a planet with his fingertips. Like, I would not. I know some sites want to downgrade how strong these DBZ characters are. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And yes, there's so many different 50 million different comics of Hulk, where they show, they make them so crazy overpowered. No, we talking about the movie MCU, right? Hold up. Could the Avengers stop the Saiyans? In the thumbnail, they show MC, and they're showing them here. These guys. No, now if we want to go through every single comic, yes, but maybe as they spent some weird comics of Iron Man and Hulk, and where they just make them where it's like unbelievably overpowered. But we're talking about just this here and the Saiyans, because that's not fair to DBZ, because they don't have 50 million different artists and authors making 50 million different stories where they can overpower them. They, in a crazy way. No, we're talking about just base Saiyans, the one we know, and the base MCU that we watched in theaters. If that's what we're talking about. Because I don't feel like going. This is not a video where I'm going to go through every comic. I'm talking about just that. Then these Avengers have no chance. Let's see what he says. Let me know in the comments what you think as well. Shout out to his original. I'll put the original video in the description below. Make sure I give it a like as well. But I would love to see his take on it. There's no way that the Saiyans, Vegeta that could destroy a planet with his fingertips, is losing to a machine, two humans, a super soldier. Like I said, Thor will hold his own. To be real, that's probably a stretch. He's the last one to die. I'll put it that way. Because Thanos is not beating the Saiyans. And yeah, we saw what Thanos did to Thor. Well, in the beginning of Avengers and Infinity War. Then you saw Thor have the advantage at the end. But yeah. Well, no, because then in Endgame, Thanos was better again. Anyway, the Saiyans are beating Thanos no problem. So, and and this is all fun. This is all fun because these are not real characters. I'm just saying I have no second thought on them beating the Saiyans. But let's see.
Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes. Coming together from an unlikely array of different origins, they are some of the most powerful characters in the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Throughout their tenure, they have taken on.
So we are talking about the Marvels. So that confirms. We're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, they're not. I'm seeing Raditz here. They're not beating Raditz. We don't even have to go through Vegeta and Nappa because that's what they show in the picture. They're not beating Raditz. But let me be quiet. Let it play.
They are some of the most powerful characters in the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Throughout their tenure, they have taken on numerous threats who have sought to both conquer, destroy, or irreparably change both the Earth and even the entire universe. The current culmination and greatest threat to the Avengers has been Thanos.
And he has no chance against Nappa.
Collected the Infinity Stones and wiped out half the population of the entire universe. But what if, in an alternate universe, the Avengers faced a very different group of alien invaders? Ones who cared less about bringing balance to the universe and cared more about simply conquering it. What if the Avengers had to stop a Saiyan invasion? For this video, we will be covering if the Marvel Cinematic Universe versions of the Avengers would.
Now, if you want to go to comics, we could have a different conversation. But no.
First, with the arrival of Raditz, and then with the later arrival of Vegeta and Nappa.
That's the thing. They wouldn't even have to show up. Nappa and Vegeta showed up because what happened to Raditz. Raditz will take care of that by himself.
Raditz is arriving to Earth not because of Goku's existence there, but just because how it's disconnected from much of the universe socially, making it easier to conquer. We'll cover later on why Vegeta and Nappa might follow Raditz to Earth, but for now, the video will be a mix of actual power scaling and a realistic what-if of how characters would actually interact. To begin, we'll be considering this scenario as if the Saiyans are directly replacing Thanos during the events of
They would not need the glove.
meaning that the Avengers are currently disbanded, but many of them are close to their peaks of power, at least as a team. Due to the nature of the Saiyan flight pods and how they work, in this scenario, the first contact with the invasion forces would be on Earth instead of on Thor's spaceship. This immediately means the likes of Heimdall and Loki are alive, and that Hulk is never traumatized by his encounter with Thanos. However, this also leaves them completely unaware of what is happening on Earth. Raditz would arrive somewhere on Earth, likely once again in a random field somewhere, just like in original Dragon Ball, and immediately begin going about his business, similar to how he did in the original series, looking for the highest power levels on the planet. I think it's likely that while no humans on Earth would necessarily have a scalable ki, there would be objects that would be giving off higher levels of energy that the Scouter might be able to pick up, namely the 2 Infinity Stones as well as potentially things like Tony's Arc Reactor. Thus, I think it's very likely that either Raditz begins destroying things randomly like we see Saiyans do in previous invasions, or he heads directly to New York to confront those higher level energy signatures. It's here that I think Raditz would be confronted in a very similar fashion to how the Black Order was, getting put up against Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and potentially Spider-Man and Wong. In this scenario, could they win? It's now that we need to go over the actual scaling of the characters.
Okay, so now we're talking about, because I wanted to stop earlier when I realized they're talking about when Thanos showed up. Okay, I'm thinking the first Avengers before Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and them. Okay, now that we're in this spot, Doctor Strange is probably their best option right now in this situation. We talk about that New York scene in Infinity War. Because Doctor Strange could probably portal him. Remember that portal is a funny scene. I was falling for 30 minutes. You know, if Doctor Strange, when he did that to Loki, if he did that to Raditz, that's the only way I see it. And that's if he catches him. But if Raditz don't know what Doctor Strange is about, Doctor Strange would catch him first. Unless the speed of the Saiyans, which we're not going to ignore that. They're really fast. They could get away from it. But there's a chance because you got Doctor Strange. So now Doctor Strange and Wong. So it's a chance. You can catch Raditz slipping. You know what I'm saying? Which in DBZ you have seen him slip where he got his tail snatched. You know, but I still, no, that's the chance. A slight chance.
Cinematic universe. In Guardians of the Galaxy, we are shown the strength of the Power Stone when a Celestial uses a single tap of the stone to wipe out a planet. This feat has been calced at large planet-busting levels of power. This level of power is consistent with characters capable of wielding the Power Stone like Ronan the Accuser, who took almost 0 damage from being hit by the Hadron Enforcer, which is a weapon that is capable of destroying moons. As we see across both Endgame and Infinity War, high-level Avengers are capable of matching or at least taking attacks from the Power Stone directly, which would put them close to the large planet-level power of attack potency and durability. Speed is a lot weirder in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as characters swap hands with normal humans and then go on to fight characters with drastically higher speed feats.
Yeah.
At the high end, both
That's a little
Iron Man
mixed up
and
there.
Doctor Strange scale relative to Thanos in combat speed, who could intercept Captain Marvel while she was mid-flight. This is impressive given that we see at the start of Endgame,
Now,
Tony
Captain
was
Marvel could be a
thousands of
problem,
years away
too.
from Earth, with Captain Marvel able to fly there in a couple days.
Still,
which
yeah, no.
really, no matter which way you scale that,
She's
is
powerful
at
in this
least
universe.
thousands of times faster than light. For more consistent low end, earlier models of Iron Man's armor use particle beams that would likely be light speed, with characters being able to react to more powerful versions of these beams. Thus, MCU high tiers likely range anywhere from faster than light to massively faster than light plus in combat speed. So, what about Raditz? Statements about Raditz's power level have actually varied throughout the story, ranging from 1,200, which is the strength of a Cyberman, all the way to 1,600. This puts Raditz well above moon level, as the value is about 30% to 56% higher than the power level of Goku's Super Kamehameha during his fight with Piccolo Jr., which had a power level of 910 and was stated capable of shattering the moon. Raditz's power level may be higher if you think he's stronger than the Piccolo who destroyed the moon, as that attack is calced at large planet level as well. But Piccolo might have actually surpassed Raditz by the time he did that feat. For speed, Raditz should be comfortably faster than Light, given his speed being multiple times
That's why I
faster
said
than
it's a
Light to
chance
Goku, who has
Doctor
multiple
Strange
Light
could
body feats
get
in
him.
Dragon Ball.
So how does this first fight go? Stats-wise, they are insanely close to each other, maybe even more close than Goku and Piccolo were to Raditz. While they are all FTL plus in between Moon and Large Planet level, Raditz simply would not be able to keep up with the hacks at Tony and especially Doctor Strange's disposal. I think it's likely that Raditz would lose in a 2v1, just like how he lost to Goku and Piccolo. Just like in the original story, Raditz would be able to relay information off to Vegeta and Nappa about the people on this planet having access to odd magical items of immense power.
Even with that breakdown, I'm like, nah, something missing
Thus,
there.
instead of the
I don't
Dragon
know about
Balls,
that
the
one.
Saiyans would head to
Let me
Earth
just
to
listen though.
collect
I don't want to be the
Infinity
stubborn guy. Let me
Stones
listen.
for themselves. To make this as fair as
Wait,
possible,
what?
the event in action. Thus, instead of the Dragon Balls, the Saiyans would head to Earth to try and collect the Infinity Stones for themselves. To make this as fair as possible, the Avengers will also be aware that the Saiyans are coming and that they have a year to prepare for them, just like the Z Fighters.
Yeah, I can see Doctor
In the
Strange and
span
getting
of
them
this year,
information
we'll
and
say
Tony.
that they essentially did all the prep that
If
they
by
did
some
in
miracle they beat
in
Raditz.
Infinity War. So, in this scenario, essentially identical to Endgame, a massive army of Avengers are lined up and prepared for battle. Instead of Thanos and his army, it's simply two Saiyan pods that crash down. Just like in Dragon Ball Z, they don't want to simply destroy everything and risk destroying what they came here for, so they don't just blow up the planet the moment they arrive. So, can the Avengers win?
No.
The major powerhouses the Avengers now have, in addition to what they had before, are Thor, Captain Marvel, and of course Scarlet Witch.
Which is a good
When it comes
team
to
to have,
everyone
but still the
else,
answer is no.
Cybermen that Nappa plants would likely handle all of them, as they are fortunately just like feetless foot soldiers.
Wait,
Something
what
like
would happen?
Ant-Man, while he is Scarlet Witch. When it comes to everyone else, the Cybermen that Nappa plants would likely handle all of them, as they are fortunately just like feetless foot soldiers. Something like Ant-Man, while he is obviously stronger than like a normal person, a moon-level Cyberman jumping on him and blowing him up is just a very easy win condition. It's likely that
And I'm
Vegeta
glad
found Nappa
he didn't put Iron Man in that list with Thor, Captain Marvel, and Scarlet Witch. I love Iron Man, but let's not overpower him thinking he can compete with Thor or Captain Marvel in them. No.
to fight everyone else.
So I'm
at
glad he
once,
wasn't on that
just like
list.
he did against the Z Fighters. If Raditz at a high ball was large planet level, then Nappa is comfortably that strong, while being just more than twice as fast as Raditz with his 4,000 power level. With the addition of 3 more roughly comparable characters or more, Nappa might not be able to win. However, not
What?
everyone is going to be able to survive. Underestimating Nappa would likely cause someone to lose an arm or their life. It's unlikely that any of them would be able to just 1v1 against Nappa straight up. Like before, the magic users of Wanda and Strange are definitely the most hacks-based.
That's the ones
As
you
we
need. Yeah,
see,
them and Captain
Wanda
Marvel's
really
your
doesn't
best
have
in
some of the
Thor.
stuff that her later magic does, like with the Darkhold, and pretty much all of Strange's spells are capable of being overpowered with sheer force, like we see from Thanos. Furthermore, magic in Dragon Ball can be overpowered by sheer strength, as we see in the Buu Saga. I think it's also important to just say this here. Thor does not scale to the full power of the Infinity Gauntlet. His axe specifically was made to counter its power via its own
That's why he-
enchantment, so his
hold on.
AP isn't something wild like universal or anything like that. That
Right,
being
that's
said,
why he struggled
if
in
they
the
use their
Endgame.
sheer number
One of the
advantage
reasons.
And they get through Nappa, it's over. A single
Wait,
blast from
what happened?
wild, like universal or anything like that. That being said, if they use their sheer number advantage and they get through Nappa, it's over.
Thank
A
you.
single blast
Thank
from
you.
Vegeta, who is yet another 4 times stronger and faster.
Thank
would
you,
probably
okay.
wipe out everyone who's still alive.
Okay, if I like that he said
Also,
if they got through Nappa, not that when they get by Nappa. If, yeah, because Vegeta, that's a whole different conversation. I didn't think it would got past Raditz, but all right. Let's just say, and then it get to Nappa. If you somehow get through Nappa, because Nappa's a problem as well. Like let's be real. It took Goku, and then Vegeta ended him. But Nappa's a problem, and we're not going to discredit Piccolo and them like the Avengers are stronger than him. I think Piccolo can take them too. Yes, like I said, Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, they have, that's the Avengers' best option with their magic. But I'm not going to discredit Piccolo or Tien. Like, I know how Super makes them look all weak now. At that time, and even then, even as that weak they are now in Dragon Ball Super, they have more than enough power to take out to fight the Avengers and maybe win. That's why I don't like this just breezing past Piccolo though. Anyway, forget all that. Yes, glad he said that. If by some chance they get past Nappa, that it's over. It's over. Vegeta won't even have to try.
Vegeta can stack another 10 times from Vegeta, who is yet another 4 times stronger and faster, would probably wipe out everyone who's still alive. This is also
Ain't no problem. He would.
Can stack another 10 times multiplier on that if he chooses to transform into.
He wouldn't even have to do that.
Further dwarfing any Avenger in power. Really, the only copium victory for the Avengers is if you think they all scale to Captain Marvel's flight speed in their combat speed, then maybe they could like blitz.
That's a
Even
reach.
then, their power
No.
would be vastly inferior to what Vegeta can output in like a
Thank
single
you. I'm
day.
glad he's okay.
So, could the Avengers survive a Saiyan invasion?
No.
Probably not. However, I hope I've shown that they could do a lot better than maybe you were expecting. If you made it this far,
I will say this. I wouldn't say every Avengers would die. There's a chance I could see Doctor Strange and Wanda doing some magic trick to get them out of there. You know, but the planet is gone. There's a chance Vegeta might be in his chill mood as he's destroying people and Strange is looking around. Let's say if Black Panther, Tony, and them are around him, and does like the teleport thing and teleport to another world or something. That's the only thing I see. So I wouldn't say everybody would die. Now, if they all just went in, they're all dead. But if Strange is sitting there like, remember when he was sitting in an Infinity War, finding all the different ways to destroy Thanos? He probably would see that and it's like, okay, the only way we can win is I got to teleport us out of here. And I can see some not listening to him and some do. I think they'll survive in that way. But straight up, no. They're blessed to get by Nappa. And I'm glad he said if they got by Nappa because I don't think they would have done that. Raditz, I'll let that slide. You know, that's a stretch, but Raditz was sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Nappa was focused. Well, I take that back because he should have listened to Vegeta and just let him handle it. But no, he wanted to attack the other ones and, you know, Goku did what he did. But yeah, shout out to him. I'll put the original video in the description below. This is all fun, but as you can tell, I'm passionate about it. It's just because I love, like I told y'all before, I love talking about these what ifs with characters that I love. I love the Marvel Universe. I love Dragon Ball. I love DC, so on and so forth. And as much as I love Marvel, I'm just not. No. I don't care what Death Battles be showing you. I don't care what other stuff be showing you. We're not going to sit here and act like DBZ is at these levels of other heroes like DC and Marvel. It's two different levels up here. It's like Dragon Ball Z is up here. And it's with their weakest characters can compete against some of Marvel and DC's greatest characters. There are some exceptions in DC and Marvel. Very few, though. Very few. And I'm not going to talk about all these different comics that changes the story every 5 minutes. No. The base, what we know, like what was first made. Yeah. Nah. Anyway, let me know in the comment section how you feel about it. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. See ya.